Hi children, I am going to continue history lesson. Now let us see first. Let us have a quick recap what we learned in the earlier class. We learned about the starting of the national movement in India and about the early associations and also about the different congress sessions held in different regions of the country and the presidents of those and the three phases of Indian National Congress we learned. And now we are entering into the new part of the second part of the lesson. Now let us start with demands of moderates. Already I told you that there are three phases of Indian National Congress and they are moderate phase, that is 1885 to 1905, and extremist phase 1905 to 1919, and Gandhian era from 1919 to 1947. Now let us see what were the demands of these moderates. These moderates led the Indian National Congress during the first 20 years, that is 1885 to 1905. These moderates demanded that the Imperial Legislative Council to be made more representative. That means more number of people should be represented in the council. The council must be given more powers. More number of people must be represented and more powers should be given to the council, and these legislative councils should also be introduced in provinces, because from the provinces there was no representatives in the council. So they wanted that there should be representatives from the provinces also, and they also demanded higher positions for Indians in the government. Under the British rule, civil services exam was conducted only in London, and most of the higher positions thus given to the English people. And many Indians could not write the exam as it was held only in London. The Indians, they could not attempt to write the exam also. And so the moderates demanded that the civil services exam should be conducted not only in London but also in India, so that the Indians can also write the exam and occupy higher positions. Now, leaders like Dadabhai Naoroji, R.C. Dutt means Ramesh Chandra Dutt, and Ranade, they studied about the economic impact of British rule in India, and they realized that the British were levying more taxes on Indians, and thus they were draining the Indian wealth into their own country, making India poorer and poorer. They also said that the poverty and the famines in India were due to the British policies like collecting too much land revenue from the peasants and exporting grains, etc. Because of this, the country was becoming poorer and poorer. And the moderate leaders, they felt that the industrial development of the country is the need of the hour to solve these economic problems. But the British, they not only exploited our resources, but also they did not allow industries to develop in India. And the main aim behind it was to make Indians dependent on them. The goods which were produced by them were sold in India's markets at cheaper rates. So there was great demand for British goods. As they were cheaper and also machine-made goods, they were of better quality. So there was great demand for British goods. And as a result of all this, many of the industries were closed down in India because they could not compete with the British machine-made goods. And Indian crafts, textile industry, and handloom skills thus almost disappeared because of incompetency to compete with the British machine-made goods. Most of the industries were closed down in India. And the policy of moderates was pray, petition and protest. Pray, petition and protest, this was the policy followed by the moderates. That means first making a request to fulfill their demands, and then submitting petitions to the government, and even then if the demands are not fulfilled, protesting against the British rule and policies. Pray, petition and protest. This was the policy followed by the moderates, and these leaders toured the whole country and carried on their agitation through public meetings. They held many public meetings and they gave lectures, and through newspapers also they propagated. And they submitted petitions to the government with a list of their demands. And through all this, though they could not persuade the government to change, but they were able to formulate the opinion of all the Indians on the most important issues. They could not force the government, they could not make the government change the policies, but they could form the opinion of all the Indians. They could formulate the opinion of all the Indians. and they could put forth the British government. And it helped for the spread and success of Indian national movement. And next one is extremist phase. And extremist phase is from 1905 to 1920. That is Swadeshi movement. Now let us see what is this Swadeshi movement. In 1903, the then British Governor General in India was Lord Curzon, and this Lord Curzon, he proposed for the partition of Bengal into East and West Bengal. And as a protest against this partition of Bengal, Swadeshi movement was started by the people of Bengal. Women, students, large section of urban and rural population, they took an active part in politics through this movement for the first time. And partition of Bengal by the British was seen as a political act to divide the people of Bengal and to weaken the national movement. To make the national movement more and more weak, the British proposed this partition of Bengal. And even the common people, they protested against it. And there were mass protest campaigns, but the government paid a deaf ear, and finally Bengal was partitioned in 1905. And as a protest against this partition, foreign cloth was boycotted and burnt. Foreign clothes were boycotted and also burnt in the streets. Shops selling foreign goods were picketed up, and all foreign goods were boycotted. Women refused to wear foreign bangles and use foreign utensils. And even priests, you will wonder, even the priests, they refused offerings which contained foreign sugar. And thus a sort of unity was brought among diverse groups, and this became a firm basis for the national movement. And the leaders were successful in achieving this. And all the government institutions like schools, colleges, courts, they were boycotted by the people during this Swadeshi movement because they stopped going to the schools, colleges which were established by the Britishers. So they boycotted the schools, colleges and even courts, and people set up their own Swadeshi schools and parallel courts in which they settled their disputes. And the main idea behind it was to refuse to cooperate with the government. And this Swadeshi movement gave a boost to Indian industries because at that time foreign goods were boycotted by the people. So all the people, they preferred Swadeshi goods, goods which were made within the country. So the industries were closed down in India. So because Swadeshi goods were encouraged, so to produce Indian goods, again the industries were started. So it gave a boost to Indian industries. And as foreign goods were boycotted on large scale and goods started to be produced within the country, it was started with the manufacture of Swadeshi salt, sugar and matchboxes. They were started first, and all the other goods also on a large scale, they were started being produced in India. And encouraged by this Swadeshi movement, only Jamshedji Tata set up Tata Iron and Steel Company in Jamshedpur in 1907 and Jamshedpur, Bihar, and now the demand for Swadeshi goods and Swadeshi clothes increased tremendously. So there was development of industries. Now the moderates and the extremists. The moderates and the extremists, the next Congress session was held in 1905. And in this session, extremist nationalists led by Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala, these were the most important extremist leaders. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai. And these three were famously known as Lal, Bal, Pal. They wanted to extend the movement to all parts of India and to demand full-fledged freedom or Swaraj for India. And in this context, Tilak gave his famous slogan, Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. You might be knowing this. It is a famous slogan given by Tilak. Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it. Because it is my birthright, I will have it. And these extremists called the earlier policy of moderates as mendicancy. Mendicancy means begging for alms. They felt that freedom is our birthright and we need not beg others for it. Because it is our birthright, we can have it. And this was the opinion of the extremists. And on the other hand, the moderates felt that the people were not yet ready for full-scale movement for freedom and self-rule. Gradually, these differences between the moderates and the extremists, they grew, And as a result of it, the Congress split into two, and that is moderates and extremists. In its session in Surat, I told you Surat session is very important. In 1907 it was held, and in this Surat session, the Congress got split into two, that is moderates and extremists. And the extremist leaders like Tilak were forced to leave the Congress. Because they got split from the Congress, they were forced to leave the Congress. And on the day of partition of Bengal came into effect on 16th October 1905, and this day was observed as a day of mourning. And throughout Bengal, people did not cook food on that day. Shops and markets were closed, and in Calcutta, people took out processions singing Vande Mataram. People of East and West Bengal, they tied Rakhis to each other as a symbol of unity. And Vande Mataram song, it was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. And in the picture you can see Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. And the next picture is Lal Bal Pal. These three are extremist leaders. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Bipin Chandra Pal. And in 1915, Tilak came back from his exile and he joined hands with Annie Besant. She was a British lady, and with Annie Besant he joined hands to start Home Rule Movement. Actually, Home Rule Movement was started by Annie Besant in India. She started Home Rule Movement in India, demanding home rule. Home rule means Indians to rule themselves, Indians to rule India. The two groups of Congress, moderates and extremists, they united again in 1916 in the Congress session in Lucknow, and home rule in Maharashtra was started by Tilak. Home rule movement was started by Tilak in Maharashtra. Now, Krishna Patrika of Machilipatnam. As you know, the newspapers also played an important role in the freedom movement. And it was Mutnuri Krishna Rao who founded a newspaper called Krishna Patrika in 1902. And he was the sub-editor of Krishna Patrika till 1907. And in 1907 he became the editor and served as editor till 1945 till his death. And this Krishna Patrika gave wide publicity to movements like Vande Mataram movement, Home Rule movement, Non-Cooperation movement, Civil Disobedience movement, Quit India movement, etc. And both the urban and the rural masses also got influenced by this Patrika. Now the First World War, 1914 to 1918. After the First World War, a socialist revolution took place in Russia. In 1917, a revolution took place, socialist revolution it was, took place in Russia, and as a result of this revolution, communist government was formed in Russia. It was the first country to establish communist government, socialist government or communist government, and through this socialist revolution, the rule of czars came to an end in Russia. Czars were the rulers of Russia till this revolution, and the rule of czars came to an end as a result of this socialist revolution in Russia, and landlordism also was abolished after this revolution. And for the first time in the world, working class people formed the government, that is communist government was formed in Russia. And during this World War I, India suffered a lot as the British just increased the taxes to raise funds and resources for the war. British also fought, as you know, the First World War was fought between Britain, France and Russia on one side and Germany, Austria on the other side. So, Britishers, to raise funds for and resources for the war, they started increasing the taxes on Indians. And they were exporting all the food to the armies, because British also participated in the war. And all this brought great misery to the Indians, because food was being sent to the armies and more taxes were being levied on the people. So it became a big problem for the Indians. And because of this World War, the dissatisfaction of the people against British rule increased. And the Russian Revolution also greatly inspired the Indians to put an end to the British rule and to build a nation based on equality and justice. And everyone was expecting positive reaction from the British. People thought that the British will accept their demands for freedom and democratic rule, but the British introduced harsher laws and turned more repressive. And it was at this time that Gandhiji returned from South Africa and joined the Indian freedom movement and led this movement till the end. Now I am going to give you some homework. Please note down. Read all the full lesson, underlining the important points, and also please learn all the keywords in the material and learn all the 1 mark and 2 mark questions given in the material.